Welcome to King of the Hill Firefight. It's finally here, and it's really good. Like, really good. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but after 13 long years, it's nice to finally say we have a great successor to Reach's take on the mode.
Triple kill. Ready.
The rules are fairly simple. There are 5 waves, and each wave's drive is to secure a hill on the map and keep it out of banished hands. Banished are deployed via phantoms or simply spawning, classic style, and they'll try to push into the hill, and if they can secure it, they win the round. You have 5 hills during the match, and if the banished secure a hill majority, they win. If you secure the hill majority, you lose. I was just seeing if you're still following me. You actually win. Also, if you die, you can respawn either by waiting if your team has lives to spare, or you can be revived, Destiny style. If you can beat a wave without a single fireteam member dying, the mode goes, "Oh, so you're a good team, huh?" And it throws a skull on like that hilarious one that makes the grunts go crazy, or disabling your motion tracker. Each wave and hill gets harder and harder to defend, but it never feels cheap or broken. It feels like those great moments in any Halo campaign where the Phantom comes down from the sky and the enemies begin piling out of the vehicle and spreading out all over the place, elites rolling about, grunts fleeing, jackals turtling up, etc. It also helps that the campaign music plays during the match, making the combat encounters fun and exciting, while Jeff Steitzer constantly heaps praise on me, which were things ODST and Halo Reach did back in the 2000s to make their firefight modes more fun and Halo-y.
Nightmare. Double kill.
The King of the Hill aspect is a bit controversial in the community right now, but I think for matchmaking, it actually works really well. Let me explain. For standard, wave-based firefight, with lives, I don't think MCC's firefight matchmaking does the mode justice because all it takes is one bad player to tank your team's life counter to 0 and ruin the match for everyone. And on the flip side, if everyone in the squad is too good, then the match has no tension, and you just end up running around for 20 minutes and being really bored. I think Reach and ODST firefight is at its best when you're playing with people you know rather than with randoms. You're chatting over mics, communicating, talking about your day, and strategizing how to survive, forming memories, and just making a night of it. In order for Firefight to really thrive in a matchmaking environment, I do think that some changes should be made to sort of condense the survival experience into something that can be finished up in maybe 10 minutes or less. That's why the mode being designed around King of the Hill is such a smart choice. It forces me and the Banished into specific parts of the map so we aren't sprawled out all over the place like that one ODST Firefight map that's just too big for its own good. You know the one. This speeds up the pace, which is good for matchmaking purposes, and the constant fight for control of the hill does force me to leave my cozy spots that I found for myself in my DMR. A choice I probably wouldn't make if the only objective was to survive. I'm also sort of amazed at how fun it is fighting the Covenant, or, well, I guess they're banished, aren't they? On maps that used to only work in matchmaking. Blowing up a Phantom on Zanzibar, yes, you can blow up Phantoms in this mode, is something I've been dreaming about since Halo 3. Firefight in multiplayer maps is a reality now, and it works really well and makes me appreciate even more just how clever and well-designed Infinite's Banished actually are. I was worried that there would be cutbacks to their AI or modifications to make them harder, but no, they just behave like their campaign versions, which is to say, they're a ton of fun to blow up. 343's last attempt at Firefight, Halo 5's Warzone Firefight, just sort of spawned an overwhelming number of enemies. It modified their AI to make them more tanky and lethal, and not really behave like their campaign counterparts, which is sort of a lazy way to artificially raise the difficulty in my opinion. In Firefight King of the Hill, the difficulty feels organic and emergent, like a good Halo campaign on Heroic or Legendary. I don't mean to be too mean to Halo 5's Firefight, but the reason I bring it up is that there's now 2 different ways to remix Firefight in a way that makes for compelling matchmaking, and I think that Halo Infinite's Firefight was the correct way to do it. It's really, really good fun. This begs the question then, what do I think could be done better? Well, I do think downed teammates are not as pronounced as they should be. When you die in this mode, your body falls over and your personal AI sort of hovers above your body like a ghost in Destiny, waiting to revive you or have a buddy revive you. The UI icon for a downed player is sort of wordy, and it gets lost in the informational noise when I have the hill UI stuff, an enemy boss's name and health bar, maybe there's a weapon that I can pick up, points stacking up next to the crosshair, medals flashing on the screen, etc. I genuinely don't notice that teammates are downed because I'm a bit overwhelmed by everything on the screen at the moment. I wish that downed teammates got a new, more simplified icon on the HUD, sort of like maybe just a skull with a number counting down inside of it, and maybe their name? I also think a quote from Jeff Steitzer would help with this, having him say something like, "player down," when a teammate falls, just in case I didn't notice. It's not just me too, because sometimes I have to type in the chat for my buddies who are right next to me, because they haven't noticed me either. I also wish there were a set of firefight challenges every week. Back during the days of Halo Reach, you'd get these challenges that were something along the lines of, kill 500 grunts in firefight, and you had about a week to complete that challenge before the next challenge was issued. Upon completion, you'd get a ton of XP, and I loved knowing that I had this big overarching thing to chew away at, while I also pursued smaller daily challenges. And finally, I'd like to see a legendary variant of Firefight, maybe give players limited equipment rather than the infinite equipment, and remove the life system so that you can only come back via a player revive, to make the mode the hardest it can be for players who will inevitably master the normal and heroic difficulties. Oh, why don't you look at that? They're actually doing it. Huh. To wrap things up, Firefight King of the Hill feels like a love letter to the classic Firefight formula. It takes the campaign's AI combat loop, changes the focus from survival to King of the Hill, pushes it out into matchmaking, and it works really well. For the people that say they don't like Infinite's Firefight and miss Halo Reaches, remember, thanks to Infinite's Forge mode and the expanded custom games options, it's possible to make your own version that plays how you like. King of the Hill Firefight is just something 343 made. If you don't like it, you have the tools to fix it and make it something better. And that's why Infinite's Firefight is a true evolution of the Firefight we got in Reach. ODST introduced the mode to us. Reach introduced custom game mode options. And now Infinite's introduced the ability to make our own firefight modes from the ground up. And I think that's pretty cool. Halo Infinite's Firefight is a new bar for the series, one that I hope future iterations of the mode can meet. I'll be playing more of it, and I hope to see you all online.